Did you know that the Air Force has only been its own official branch for 64 years? Today I'm going to share with you how the Air Force got its start, when it split from the Army, and how the Air Force has become one of the world's most superior air powers. Let's get started by taking a look at the use of hot air balloons. According to the United States Air Force Professional Development Guide, in 1907 the Army established an aeronautical division which experimented with the use of hot air balloons. They slowly progressed with the Wright brothers producing the first airplanes and transitioned from balloons to aircraft. Just 10 years later, with the beginning of World War I, the Aeronautical Division changed its name to the Signal Corps and went to war with just 131 officers, 1,087 enlisted men, and less than 250 aircraft. With the end of World War I, the Signal Corps transitioned to peacetime and used air shows to promote the use of military aircraft. The most notable of these air shows was Three Men on a Flying Trapeze. In 1938, with World War II looming around the corner, the Army Air Corps had just 20,000 personnel, but by the end of World War II, it had surged to over 2 million. With the end of World War II, the U.S. government realized the importance of air power and then began to move toward a split between the Army and the Air Force. The Air Force officially became its own department when President Truman signed the National Security Act on July 26, 1947. The Air Force made its first big step in 1948 when it allowed women to join their ranks. The first woman to enlist was Esther Blake. Also in 1948, the biggest airlift mission in military history kicked off. It was called the Berlin Airlift. The United States Air Force dropped 2.33 million tons of supplies on western Berlin over a course of 15 months and was hailed with success due to was hailed the biggest military success according to www.af.mil. Just 2 years later, the Air Force began its involvement in Vietnam by sending 8 C-47 cargo transport to Asia. The U.S. involvement lasted until 1975 when a task force rescued the crew of the USS Mayaguez, officially ending the U.S. involvement in Vietnam. With the end of the Vietnam conflict, the Air Force began to really establish their dominance as the world's greatest air power. The Air Force showcased its ability in 1986 with the bombing of Libya. Over 100 aircraft were used in the mission that covered over 6,000 miles, due to France denying us the use of its airspace. Only one fighter was lost during the entire mission. The Air Force really put a stamp on air superiority in 1941 with the liberation of Kuwait. It used 301 aircraft to bomb targets inside of Kuwait and Iraq, and essentially won the war in 24 hours. The Air Force did the same thing in 2003 when it liberated Iraq from Saddam Hussein's control, with around-the-clock bombing, and it allowed ground troops to liberate the country in just 11 days. The Air Force continues to increase its capabilities, all the while maintaining its rich history. Over the past 100 years, the Air Force has been able to transition from almost nothing to greatness. I have covered with you how the Air Force got its start in 1907 with the use of hot air balloons, when they became their own independent military branch in 1947, and how we really established our dominance with the liberation of Kuwait from Iraq.